Hey there, you guys. Welcome back. Today we're going to do a little craft project, a little arts and crafts. I don't know. I had some of these little glass orbs hanging around, and at the other house I used to have them with air plants and things hanging from a fishing line from the ceiling, and they looked really, really pretty. But in this house, I just haven't had the space. I haven't had the spot for them. So over the weekend, we discovered a place that we can hang these, and so I thought I'd redo them. So I went out and I bought myself some air plants. So let me show you the air plants that we got first, and then we will move into the actual putting these things together, which is super, super easy. Let's put this down. I have it in a glass to hold it upright because it has a connector on the bottom and it doesn't sit flat. So the first, I'm so happy that I got these and they had names with them, because usually with air plants, I just don't know what they're called. I'm not an air plant expert. I've grown them in the past. They do well and then they die. I don't know. They last for a few years for me, and then I don't know. Maybe I just lose interest. Maybe my care changes. I'm not sure. But anyway, at the garden center that I got these from, if you're in the Niagara region, I got these from the watering can in Vineland, and it was so nice. Air plants have gotten really expensive. Well, more expensive than they used to be. These guys used to be like $3. Now it's $4, and that was the cheapest. So anyway, they have little labels on the back of the price, and it tells me what they are. Hopefully it's correct. So this one is Ionantha rubra. I believe it's Tillandsia Ionantha rubra. So this is a fairly common one. I like this one a lot. Hopefully it's coming into focus. And then I got one of these ones. It might be a little bit too big for the little glass containers. But this one here is a tricolor melanocrator, I believe. Let's call it melanocrator. I'll put the names down below in writing just so that you can see, maybe look them up. And again, usually I don't know the names. And then this one, I believe, is a Tillandsia pruinosa Guatemala. This one here is kind of fun. It's just a little baby one or a young one. It's going to get a little bit more form to it. I love how it just looks so prehistoric, maybe is the word I'm looking for. So this one has really noticeable trichomes. The trichomes are little hair-like appendages that are, appendages might not be the correct word, but hair-like things that are on the stems or the leaves of the plant, and they collect the water from the air and actually pull in the nutrients and stuff that it needs and moisture. And yeah, super, super cool. And then the other one that I got, and I've wanted one of these for ages, this is a Tillandsia xerographica. I believe, I'll put the name down below. For whatever reason, I'm blanking right now. And it's so cool, but it's always been so expensive, and they've been much bigger. This is a smaller one, and I got it for $15. So this one here, I think is going to be the harder one to care for. Basically, the care for Tillandsia, and it all depends on your environment. If you live in a very humid environment, you won't have to do this as often. But for me, the dry air, in the wintertime, it's between, well, here, because of the humidifier, it's between, say, 30 and 50% humidity at any given time, depending on the time of year, whether the heat is on, whatever. And so once a week, I will take these little guys and I will put them in a bowl of water, warm water, and I'll put a little bit of fertilizer in. It's best to use a urea-free fertilizer. There's like a special fertilizer for, I believe, bromeliads, but I believe that orchid fertilizer is also urea-free. I guess urea breaks down or is broken down by the soil, and it makes the nitrogen, I believe, more accessible, or the fertilizer more accessible for the plants grown in soil. The one that's urea free doesn't require the soil to break down the nutrients, so it becomes more effective for the plants. So basically, you're going to soak these for maybe 20 or 30 minutes in a bowl of water, and that's what I did. And then after you're done soaking them, you want to rest them upside down so that all of the water is able to drain from the leaves, so there's nothing standing in there. Outside in the wild, it gets rained on and whatever, but the natural airflow will dry them out a lot faster. So you want to make sure that there's no sitting water in there. You let them dry for a couple of hours on their head so that they can all drain out, and then you're good to go. And then just follow that on a weekly schedule, or you can miss them every couple of days. I'm going to go with the soaking once a week method because that is what is easier for my lifestyle. Occasionally I might miss them, but it's not going to be the main way I'm going to water these things. So they're very cool plants. They are going to want a bright indirect location. They want to be protected from midday sun, but they do want to have a little bit of direct sun throughout the day, maybe 20-30 minutes of direct sun, but not harsh midday sun. And for the most part, a bright indirect spot in the house is perfect. They do recommend not growing them in a closed terrarium because they do need the airflow in order to dry them out so they don't get rot. So just keep that in mind. The little terrariums that I'm going to be planting them in have a nice wide open hole, and there's vent holes in the top as well. So there's plenty of air circulation, so I'm not worried about that. And yeah, let's just get to it. Let's get to putting these things together because they're so much fun. And yeah, let me know how you like to plant up your little terrariums. Maybe you're going to do a little fairy garden theme or what, but how do you stage your air plants to look pretty? Do you just put them on a rock? Do you set them on top of a vase? Do you just stick them to a suction cup to your window? What do you do with your air plants? There's so many options. They're so limitless in their possibilities. So anyway, again, let's get to it. Okay, so what I'm going to use for this is I've got some fir bark. It's a finer fir bark, and I'm going to use some reindeer moss. I believe that's what this moss is called. You're able to get it in different colors, but I really love this vibrant green. But if you want to have a different color, I'm sure they're dyed, and whatever matches your decor. But I love this really vibrant green with that brown. It's so pretty. And I've got, I don't know what I'm going to use, but I've got little gnomes here that are absolutely adorable. What he's telling me to shush, I don't know what he's doing. And then a little guy sitting on a little wooden chair. He's so cute. And I've got some little yoga frogs. Whatever you like, put in there. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. Some little, I don't know what yoga positions those are. I don't do yoga. I should. Need to get my flexibility up after, as I get older, I get less and less flexible. So look at those. They're so cute. So we've got the moss, we've got the bark, and we've got our little air plants here. I'm keeping the tags with the air plants for now until I get used to what they're called. And yeah, so I'm going to put the moss off to the side. And I'm just going to, I've got the, like you can see here, I've got the terrarium on top of the cup. And I'm just going to fill some bark into little terrarium. I'm going to fill it up an inch or so. You can use whatever substrate you like. If you have some sand on hand, if you've got, I don't know, some soil, you can use whatever works best for you. I like this bark because if I do get some water in, excess water from spraying, it will pull it away from the plant. I fear that with soil, it'll just stay too wet for too long. And I'm just going to flatten this out. I want the bark to kind of tilt back. Is that coming in? There it is. I want it to tilt back so you have a better viewing feel when you're looking at it as it's hanging. This is what it is. It's sitting flat in my hand at this point. So I can't describe it very well. So you want it to feel like it's higher in the back. And then we're going to put a little bit of moss in here. This is older moss, believe it or not, just to green up the back. I'm just unsquishing it. It's been in Ziploc bags for a few years. All right. It's just so cute. Make it your own, my goodness. I think I'm gonna put this guy in here. Telling me to shush with his finger there. And because this is a slightly bigger terrarium, I'm going to just place the bigger air plant in there, and he's just hiding behind the bushes. Can you see him in there? Ah, so cute. So this one here is complete. Super, super simple. I want to make sure I don't tip this thing over. Number 2, and I'll put the label for that particular air plant just in the front. I'll make something nicer. So here we go. We're gonna fill this up with some of the bark. This one's gonna need less. It's a smaller container. Little bit more bark. There we go. I wish I had little mushrooms or something to go in here as well. I think that would add to it. Get my moss. I don't need a huge thing of moss because it's a significantly smaller container. There we go. A little bit of moss here. And I'm going to do some little yoga frogs because they're friggin' adorable. I love frogs. I'm going to do one here, and then I'm going to do another one stretching his little leg. Oh, friggin' adorable. So cute. There. And then I'm going to pop this little prunosa in there. Again, I want them to be accessible, the air plants to be accessible, easy to grab out, because once a week I'm going to be taking those out to give them a little soak, and then we'll put them back in when they're nice and dry. So let's go and hang these up, shall we? Okay, so we're in the front room, standing on a couch, safety first. So this here is a western facing window, which gets beautiful afternoon sun. It's absolutely lovely. And then over on this side, I have a southern exposure window that's diffused in the midsummer by a deep porch. In the wintertime, it gives beautiful light in here, but in the summertime, it's diffused and it's a beautiful bright indirect. So this is a beautiful space for a air plant, and I am just going to hide my little labels in there so it's not the first thing that you see. And I'm going to hang these. These are fishing line, that monofilament wire, so it's kind of invisible. And then I've got little S-hooks that I might end up painting white because they just stand out so much as the little stainless steel option. So we'll see what happens in the future if the silver or whatever the stainless steel gets in my face, I'll paint them out. And we're going to put the biggest one in the center because it's cute there. And then we got all these little guys here. Now, they're going to spin and find their spot. These particular hangers have, I'm able to rotate them. So if I want the mouths of the jars to be facing forward, so I will change that around as they stop moving. So we'll deal with that a little bit later, but they look super cute here. Let me move this one. And yeah, so let me know what you're doing with your air plants. Are you doing something similar? How do you display them? And I don't know, happy crafting, happy plant crafting. Be creative, have fun with it. Bring your plants into your environment and make them part of your decor. Anyway, who doesn't anyway? Anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing.